I'm flattered, really. Did you think that you could pay to pet my ears? I mean, I wouldn't want to pay, but I would want to pet him anyway. I just need my key back. Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. You know what? I would kick you in the tail. How about that? It bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs shriek for air. I'm gonna fight them off. Hey, howdy, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Alien Legend. Okay, and welcome to spooky season. And now I figured I might as well start off spooky season on a light note, with like zombies, and then I'm trying to work my way up into, getting used to seeing things that might be a little more scary. I don't know how scary this is, but I'm hoping that it at least will scare me a little bit so that I can, stop being such a scaredy cat for this season. Anyway, this is Touchstarved. All I know is that it's like a dating sim. It's a demo, so we'll see what happens when we play, I guess. I don't know. Hope we like it. Disclaimers. Streamers and content should set music volume to 0 in order to disable copyrighted music. This is a demo for Touchstar Pro. Thank you for letting me know this. I appreciate that. Content warning is intended for an older audience, so yeah, I'm sorry, lovelies, but this is for them older ones, okay? It contains mature content that includes but is not limited to, spooky times, horror, graphic violence, strong language, like how this channel kind of already is, alcohol and drug references, injury and dismemberment. I feel like this one is perfect for the spooky season. Like, player discretion is advised. I thank you for the warnings. If you accept the content warning, please click to proceed. I accept it. Y'all, if y'all don't want to see it, thank you so very much for watching. We'll see y'all in the next video. This world began to unravel long before you were born. There's a truck going by. I'm so sorry. Hold on. It all started with fogfall. Uh, wait. I can do this. It all started with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality wore so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect. Others were mindless beasts driven by little more than bloodshed. As unrest spread and cities fell, humans cowered in fear while monsters thrived amid the chaos. And then there's you. You don't know what you are, but one terrible truth is certain. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of those you touch. Choose your background. Oh my god, I like this already. I might buy this game. I mean, no one heard that. I'm gonna let you guys gonna have to pause and read them so that you can choose for the time that you guys totally should play this game already. I'm saying it now. For me, I actually kind of want to play it twice now because I want to do one this one and another this one. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to pick this one. Just cause I can. I kind of want to do both, so I'm just picking one. I also think the unnamed is such a cool name as well for a backstory. Ooh! The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones to cast like seeds across the barren land. I could say death doesn't scare me, but honestly, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. I'm still using this voice for the narrating because this is fun. As rations grew sparse and canteens ran dry, Tensions rose. Despair began to set in until I saw it. Ooh, yes. Aridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called Cenobium. I think that's how you pronounce it. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's here. Let's go. All that stands between me and a new life is a final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Oh no, that doesn't sound okay. This looks cool. Wait, what was the button? Look at this! Yes! I'm sorry, this looks cool to me. I'm happy. Is this fogfall? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. Oh no. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, snuffing out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. An eerie silence heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangling scream. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling. Then the wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. When I open my eyes, adrenaline lends sudden, awful clarity to the carnage around me. A traitor I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to long strides of torn muscle, gleaming gristle. Oh, okay, this is really dark. Gleaming gristle and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes finally adjust do I see the dark shape before me. Oh, Jesus! A soulless stoops over this twisted form of a caravaner. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twist in my direction and blink out as one. That sounds terrifying. A soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and charges me. I'm gonna see how long I can keep this voice going. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. A horse screams in the distance. I need to move now. Run for the city. I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm heading in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I come too far to die here. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. Oh no. He knocks me to the ground and slips in a patch of mud. The soulless instantly falls on him. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera into a steaming tide. I'm still running, right, though? Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery murk for a handful. Shit! My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages uncurl around the gauze torn deep into my palm. But the pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrists. Can you stand? I'm hoping I can. One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me! The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. Oh, Jesus! Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. Oh, No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse. Madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go! Suddenly, their clammy hands clutch my throat, choking off my breath. Die, 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 die! I'm trying to be soft, to not yell, so apologies. Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flex Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flex my face. The edges of my vision darken as my lungs shriek for air. I'm gonna fight them off. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrists, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. I feel like I'm choosing all the wrong answers. I know they said there's no wrong answer, but I don't care. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with every throbbing beat. This can't be happening. I'm going to die. Now because of the fogfall. And not because of the fogfall or the soulless, but because of my curse. I would have said my fucking curse. But then their hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre? I don't know. Macabre? I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry. Smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slump over the claws hooked through their stomach. Well, I was about to say, it's the soulless, isn't it? The soulless shoves the body aside, its glowing eyes narrow as though grinning. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's a flash of claws. Red spills across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as soon as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of slit filling my mouth and the icy embrace of a shallow water. I spot an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Ooh! It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold and alone in a desolate wasteland. Did I instantly die already? A fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Did I seriously die? I didn't realize I could die! If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of a bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody hurling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to me. But I take a reflective breath, and air pours into my lungs, then out again in a ragged gasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface underneath me, a strange tang of sulfur in the air. Do not be afraid. I'm a little afraid. Okay, I'm no longer afraid. I twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my blurry eyes in the bright glow of lamplight. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me! My words come out in little more than a creaky whisper. I clasp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. No? Who the hell is this? Sorry. No. Who the hell is this? I would probably try to sit up, at least. I manage to push myself up on one elbow, but my head swims and my surroundings give an alarming lurch. Ugh, a stubborn patient. I don't have the strength to dignify that with a response. Instead, I pull the sheet up higher and wipe my eyes until my vision clears. Hello, sir. Did you save me? Help? I don't know. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light lends his pristine medical coat. I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I realize that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. Oh, that's a double bad. I just thought about the other reason why that's bad. I plunge my hands under the sheet, though it's too late. He must have noticed how they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable disgust, but his courteous smile lingers. He just watches my placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. I'm not going to try to do other guy voices in this one. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. Wait, does that mean he touched, like, my hands, my, like, cursed stuff? Is he okay? With a soft creak, he rises from his chair, giving me a better view of my surroundings. This looks like a medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical? I can't read. The doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. Especially from sitting. Jesus, my guy. Could you step out? Could you step out first? I'm not getting dressed with you standing there. To my surprise, the man mouths quirks. I'm not planning on watching. Thank you, doctor. Still smiling to himself. Although he probably saw me. I don't care. It still feels weird. Still smiling to himself, he disappears through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. Oh, Jesus. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. Oh, right! My arm was taken! I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clear off. And yet, the limb shows no signs of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least gasping out my last breaths. With no arm at all. In none disbelief, I grab the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, bundled with a black woolen cloak, but there's one thing still missing. My bandages. The doctor didn't leave me with any, though I know he saw my hands. I slip off the bed and take a few unsteady steps toward one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers at random, and of course that's when the door swings open. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the cot. Your caution is understandable, though if I meant you any harm, you would know. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I can help if you tell me what ails you. I doubt it. Traveling in Iridia was a gamble born of desperation rather than hope. Nothing has come close to curling my cure. And yet, my left arm twitches, the arm that was severed before my very eyes. The doctor's unblinding gaze follows my every move. It's clear he won't drop this without some sort of answer. The bandages protect me, and they warn others to stay away. I've tried every way of covering my hands, and this works best. Most people avoid touching me as soon as they see the bandages. An illness, then? Or a less mundane affliction spread by contact? I flinch. He doesn't even sound surprised, and that's far too close to the truth for comfort. I glare at him. I'm not telling him the truth. I fix him with the coldest glare I can muster, yet he serenely holds my gaze. I am not easily intimidated. I can tell. That doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Who are you? Yeah, for real. You may call me Curus. I kind of like saying Curus. It's probably not pronounced that way, but I don't care. I like it. And where exactly am I? Iridia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I can think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Iridia, so I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan, barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Which you provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. I frown and flex my fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine. Thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on. Pardon? A Solus attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my arm clean off. When I woke up here, I trailed off bewildered. I've never heard of any magic that could heal a mortal wound. The doctor, Curus, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you came from, but Iridia is a city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and one should not give or receive it freely. Since you refuse to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. You are new to Iridia, so I will overlook this specific breach of etiquette. Do not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Alright, you know what? Screw you, Curus. How about that? Do I understand? No. He glances at my freshly bandaged hands. Allie. My name is Allie. It is a pleasure to meet you, Allie. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. I'm more curious as to why you saved me, bruh. If there's anything I've learned, it's that everybody wants something. With the world in such peril, no one reaches out a hand without expecting something in return. Can I ask why you saved my life? You don't know me. The question seems to startle Curus. I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty. I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumptions. I rarely come across such a fascinating patient. I blink. What did he just say? I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely, or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Allie. His voice dips to a softer murmur, and he abruptly looks away from me. I mean, you're pretty curious yourself. This so far kind of feels like, what was it called? Bustafella? Where it's like we don't really have too much to do, but I'm happy that, like, I have choices. So I'm good. You're pretty curious yourself. Am I? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him. Clearly not. But you haven't asked me for any payment either. I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and leaving you desolate in a strange place would be unethical. I fall silent, unsure of what to say. Nobody would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some sort of catch or trick, right? A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say something else. I have to fix my headphones. Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today. The knocking grows more insistent, and Curious lets out a tired sigh. Please wait. Though he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops. Do you need anything before you leave, Ali? Oh. Between the Solus attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. I need directions to Cenobium. The Cenobium? The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again. That is facts. Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The Cenobian's gates open for precious few visitors, and even if they open for you, you would not like what you find inside. It means you've been there. That means you've been there. That's what that tells me. You've been there. You should tell me something. Then if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest? Do you know anyone else here in Iridia? I shake my head. Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wetwick and ask for Lander, the leader of the Adderstone. I feel like I'm going to need to be able to pay attention to this. Follow the Adderstone postings. They are difficult to miss. When you meet Lander, tell him I sent you. Or Leander. I don't care. That isn't much to go on, but Curious points towards the back door. You will be safe as long as you do not draw attention to yourself. That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention. If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish. Though he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. I find myself standing in a narrow, rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of empty chamber pots. Something weighs heavy inside of one of my cloak pockets. My coin purse. Every last coin I'd scrapped together for the journey to Iridia is still inside. I glance back at the clinic's closed door. Curran didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said that in Iridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Curious gave me a second chance, and a lead on where I might find help. That is true. I better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. This kind of feels to me like a D&D session. Like, I really am immersed in this, and I feel like I'm playing D&D. 2 streets later, I pass under a right iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color, painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Iridia's entertainment district. I've polished off my food and dusting the crumbs from my face when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the words the Adderstone printed above his name. I keep saying Adderson. If Leander is the leader of the Adderstone, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precautiously dangling wood sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read the Wetwick. Hey, I made it! The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Let's go. We're going inside. Finally, some sounds. It's not even midday, yet the wick is packed. A loose collection of Iridians crowd the bar, taking up the tables and gathering in the spaces between. They speak amongst themselves in hushed whispers, their faces drawn and grave. I can sense their apprehension even without hearing their words. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with a dagger-shaped earring, and I'm considering searching the bar when a loud voice carries across the room. Now, I'm no prior or curator. I'm not much for paperwork or pencil pushing. And honestly, I don't even think those robes come in my size. I crane my neck, but the crowd is too dense for me to see the speaker. Gather round, I want to show you all something. There's no time to move out of the way. The audience surges towards the center of the room in a sudden turret. My hip knocks into a table, I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself, but the crowd has stilled. A pair of gilded boots stride across the tabletop. Oh dear. If you want nothing but guidelines and practical policy and needless bureaucracy, you know where to go. I drag my eyes upward. Hey, he has a dagger earring. A man towers on the table in front of me, arms spread as he addresses his ramped audience. But I'm not going to wait for word from on high. These are our streets. We make our own luck here. He snaps, and a flash of pale green light erupts from his hand. Oh, pretty! With a flick of the wrist. With a flick of the wrist, Leander. I can never say it any other way. Leander conjures a ribbon of glittering light. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals unfurl. Leander raises the flowers with a flourish, and the bar bursts into clapping and cheers. A magic demonstration was the least thing I expected from a place called the Wet Wick. Yeah, I don't know what I would think that the Wet Wick would be. Doesn't seem right. Now, who could use some good luck? Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table, but Leander's cool green eyes slide right over them and lock on me instead. How about you? My chest grows tight. Suddenly I'm on the spotlight. I would take the flowers. I want the flowers. I reach out and take the flowers from him, all too aware of my trembling fingers. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the lilies leave Leander's hand, they dim and they fade away in a shower of obsolescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath. That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right? I mean, he grins at me and I find myself smiling back. Yeah, okay. I also like his belt. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with a click. All right, show's over. Back to work, everybody. The audience disperses and Leander heads towards the bar. Now's my chance. I start after him, only to find myself face to face with one of his followers. Where do you think you're going? I need to talk to Leander. Uh-huh. You and half of Lowtown. Leander's busy right now. Anderstone business. Come back tonight. After the moment we shared, I surely Leander can spare a word. But I'm not looking for trouble. This Dr. Curris said I should find Leander. That's... She's interrupted by a hand resting on her shoulder. Curris sent you? He said you could help me. Leander nods at the woman, and she steps aside wordlessly. Follow me. Yeah, thank you, Curris. He leads me to the crowded bar. There's so little room that his broad shoulders press against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. Sorry about that. The Anderstone watch out for one another, but they can be overprotective at times. Lesson learned. Leander flashes me a broad grin. You're new to Iridia, right? Yes. He says it with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much? No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown. Okay. What'll it be? Surprise me. Not anything my friend wants to my tab. Water's good. Thank you. I'll take the water. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbow on the counter. His sleeves ride up, revealing a long, raised scar. I catch myself following its winding path across his forearm. Leander's eyes wander over me in return. When they lock on my bandaged hands, a bitter taste rises in my throat. Here comes the questions. Is there any chance Curus sent you here for cheap drinks or barely edible appetizers? No. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, sighing when it immediately falls back into place. That's doctor for you. Always business. I'm not sure he even knows how to relax. The bartender pushes a pair of glasses our way. I don't realize how thirsty I am until the cool water touches my lips. Beside me, Leander takes a deep swig from his glass. So how can I help you? I need to get to Cenobium. As soon as the word Cenobium leaves my mouth, the group standing nearby falls silent. From the weary looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some taboo, and I'm probably screwed. It had to be Cenobium. Leander pushes away from the counter. Let's continue this conversation outside. I rise to follow him. Ooh, whoops. I mean, they even Curus said no to Cenobium, so apparently that's not a good place. And I probably shouldn't go there. But I mean, I've traveled this far to get it, so I'm going to be stuck on that for a while. Somebody tell me about this place. Curus didn't send you here to ask for a personal escort to Cenobium, did he? From his tone, he already knows the answer. No, he suggested I reconsider. Yet, here you are, asking about a guide anyway. He looks at me expectantly. I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my monstrous capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Are you aware of Rydia's particular currency? Information's worth its weight in gold here. I don't much care for outdated traditions, so I'll be completely honest. The Cenobium won't help you. They're more likely to torture you than lend you a hand. But the Cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. The Cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a fading world. If any place held answers, it would be the Cenobium. That's why I came here. Leander nods patiently. You're not the first person to fall for their propaganda. I grew up idolizing the Cenobium. I wanted nothing more than to join their ranks, to learn magic from the best, to make a real difference. I was young and blinded by legends and the legacy. I was so damn naive. He shakes his head. All it took was one trip here to Lowtown to show me the truth. Unless you got a heavy purse or high-born blood, the Cenobium doesn't give you a damn. Or give a damn. They'll never open their gates for the ones who need help the most. Then it's all a lie? Things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. Leander watches me as though weighing something in his head. But that doesn't mean you're helpless. Far from it. I founded the Anderson to help people like you. I keep saying Anderson when I'm trying to say Anderstone. We settled disputes. Lay Pharaoh Solus? Hell, we've even been known to patch a leaky roof or two. Whatever troubles you, we can help. Free of charge. Tell me, how can I help you? Leander may not work for the Cenobium, but he is a mage, a powerful one if his demonstration earlier is any indication. Indecision gnaws at me. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this might be the only path forward. My confession comes out in a strained whisper. I'm cursed. He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. Is that why you bandage your hands? My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I even finish, Leander pulls his left glove off. He flexes his fingers and grins. Alright, let's see it. No! No! Absolutely not. As he offers me his hand, a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm. But I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. Yeah, I'm freaking out, man. I don't care how confident Leander is. I won't allow myself to hurt him. To see his kind face unrecognizably warped. I don't want to hurt you. I'll be fine. Trust me. I've seen enough curses and hexes to laugh me 2 lifetimes, but I'm still standing. Do you really think Curus could send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I only met him today. I'm twice as good as any I can't talk. I'm twice as good as any Cenobian mage. If anyone can help you, it's me. I don't know what you don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then I began to unwinding the bandages from my hand. If you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. Actually, that would. His attempt at levity does little to comfort me. Actually, that would help me. Because last time, someone literally tried to strangle me because of my curse. So, tying you up would help me. Yes. With each joint I expose, I grow increasingly certain that this is a terrible idea. But if he's bothered by how my hand looks, he doesn't show it. Alright, deep breath. On my count. My fingers hover shakily over Leander's palm. 3, 2, 1. I'm scared. I hesitate at the last second. Leander does not. His hand closes tightly around mine. Oh no. The instant his fingers graze mine, his expression goes blank. Leander? I try to pull away, but his hand remains locked. My stomach sinks, fear gripping me even harder than Leander as he takes a slow, deliberate step closer. His other hand rises, fingers outstretched and angling towards my neck. No, you're... just fine. I hate you! You weren't joking. That curse is something else. Leander's hand... Leander's hand lands gently on my shoulder to steady me. I didn't even realize I was shaking. I searched Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remained a clear, soft green. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of his palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't anticipating. It's not as though I've never been touched before. My curse only extends to my hands, and desperation spurs creativity. But all that pales in comparison to this. I've never experienced such intimacy. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. The gloves along his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the bones on his wrists. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand without dire consequences. I've never realized what I was missing. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine hammers as fear gives way to excitement. I'ma hold on. I'm holding on. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his arm, where smooth skin abruptly gives way to a rising scar. It matches the one that runs from his collar to cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? When I glance at Leander's face, his lips part as he considers his words. Am I the first person you've ever been able to touch like this? Stop reading my face! I'm getting self-conscious. My hand goes still on his arm. So far. Then is it everything you wanted? You know what, Mr. Casanova? It's not every day I meet someone as enticing as gold. He winks and lets me go. Right, so that means my information is good as gold to you? I draw my hand back and take a steady breath. My hand feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. I've really forgotten my manners. May I ask your name? I'm Allie. Allie, this curse of yours is unlike anything I've ever seen before. I can tell you're careful, but it's best you keep this between us. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause. Room and board was something I had yet to consider. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The Wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of Leander's followers have dispersed, or in a few cases fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. The usual room? Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. No, not today. This is just my friend Allie. Right. Stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Have fun? Sir? Sir Leander? You want to tell me what that's about? Leander clears his throat and folds the key out to me. I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bread, anything you need. AKA, my secret is worth a lot of money. That's what I'm getting. Leander gives me a friendly wave before returning to the bar. I'm going to bed. Dusk glitters the spare rays of light illuminating the room. The furniture is tired, the walls cracked, and a large gloomy bed serves as the centerpiece. I can't remember the last time I slept in a bed, and I never imagined I'd sleep in one tonight. When I collapse onto the bed, the springs let out shrill shrieks. Finally, I can allow myself to rest. My eyes fall shut before long, and then I'm going to pass out. I like this game so far. It does feel like it's going to be a long one, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to play for this. But, I mean, spooky season, so we're going to keep going anyway. I wake to pale sunlight flittering through the narrow windows. Despite the clamor of the tavern below, the precious hours of rest have restored my strength and gifted me a flicker of cautious optimism. If I play my cards right, today could be the day I get closer to finding a cure. I quickly head out of the West Wing. The air clings, sudden and heavy with the lingering scent of rain. Without the afternoon crowd, the district looks barren and bleak. In the middle of the street, a pair of crows quabble over stale bread crusts. I pause, watching them while I consider my next move. Curus and Leander both made it clear that the cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far and endured so much to give up now. Too much to give up on now. I need to see the cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. Surely someone in the bar can point me to the right direction. I would have probably wondered later. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tingles the back of my neck. Oh, Jesus. That actually did scare me! Claws stretch. A muzzle splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep, I feel it in my chest. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to look what got me in the eye first. I steel myself, then turn. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came, and I'm left standing in the middle of the street alone save for a figure reclining in the shape of a nearby stoop. What? A monster. That much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be the mistake for humans were it not for the tuffled ears. Oh, mistaken for human if not for the tufted ears, the tail curled around his ankle. A jumpy, aren't we? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable grin. Did you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen in the Wicks are the Wicks drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. Did you take my key? Sir. With a flick of the wrist, my in-room key dangles from his finger. It turns on its chain and glitters when it catches the light. My hands fly to my cloak's pockets and, sure enough, find them flat. I always seem to attract the weird kinds of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Who said that's my key? He smiles, wide enough to reveal sharp fangs. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. A city like this, somebody might take advantage. A bold-faced lie said without a hint of irony. I approach the monster, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. The stranger's chain slowly clings as it tilts his head. His ears flick. keeping your distance. I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dingy little key from all the way over here? He gives an exasperated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they would cost more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy. I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Lucky for you, I don't charge. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into the shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. I didn't mean to assume. I'm flattered, really. Did you think that you could pay to pet my ears? I mean, I wouldn't want to pay, but I would want to pet him anyway. I just need my key back. Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. You know what? I would kick you in the tail. How about that? Just throw it here. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. Can I have my key first? And I ain't telling you nothing. What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder? He listlessly watches the arc of my key swing around his finger. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger-sharp eyes flick towards me. They gleam bright with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. Oh, Lord Jesus. No! By now my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. Nah. See, I need my key. I can't walk away yet. So I'm gonna play along. You know what? Why not? How'd you know that I spent all my money, starved, and nearly died in the swamp just so I can crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I met? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I have been told subtlety is not my strength. So your place or mine? You know what? I'd invite you if I had my key. If only I had my key, I might be able to invite you up. His languid gaze glides from me to the key in his hand and back. Take my hand, we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No, I agree. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have the tricks up their sleeve. See, the thing is, I'm just sitting here like, dude, give me my shit back. You're obviously just trying to mess with me at this point, and I just want my key back. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack me or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. My kind of guy. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. You sound like you know the city well. The monster's gaze flickers from me to the key hanging from his finger. Naturally, this dump was little more than a miserable little smear on a map when I first arrived. High town, low town. I know Iridia like the back of my hand. What about the Cenobium? Do you know where that is? His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it. That absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss. He must mean that spire I noticed when he first caught a glimpse of Iridia. I noticed it too. The Cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp dick tower can't even dream of. What do you say? How about the two of us have a little adventure? I've already got plans. Oh? Have you some pressing matters at the Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians? Tea time with the most esteemed abbess. That's my business. What's it matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. The stranger, finally bored with his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. See, I knew it. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my shoes slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them even if he grips my arm. Oh, his eyes, though! I knew I smelled blood. You reek of the road and death. And that fucking doctor. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil. I need someone to read his lines for me. Just no reason. No reason at all. I need to find this game somewhere else. And just for the voice acting. It seems I underestimated you. You're... There! Uh-oh. The stranger's ear flattened, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging my bandages. He twists around to see a woman duck out of the curtains behind him. Her press white uniform marks her as a cleric of the cenobium. I leave you for all of what, 10 minutes? And you're making trouble again. Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, Ver I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this as a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me and his tail swishes coyly. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Ver cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Danger's drawn to you like a moth to flame. It would always find you, given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word to the wise. Don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. The cleric regards me with a polite, if tight, smile before marching down the stairs. Ver lingers. He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, hmm? Ver hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily as though he hadn't lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Levantine knot? That the one where you take 3 fingers in? Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's probably disgusting. Ver's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric had vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait! Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pocket and find it. The room key. I raise it to the light. Sure enough, it's my key, but the realization is hardly comforting. I don't know what Ver's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the cenobium saw fit to leash him, a fate I could share if that's what his vague warning meant. Oh no. It's easy enough to follow the winding streets climbing uphill towards the distant tower. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead, I finally find what I'm searching for. The cenobium of the luminous void. It stands at the highest point of Verudia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, ignoring the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up until the top of the cenobium spire disappears into the clouds overhead. My stomach gives an uneasy lurch. Though far grander than the humble shrine of my youth, the cenobium is eerily reminiscent of a gilded birdcage. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. Hello. A whisper coats the back of my ear, hot and syrupy. Whoa. Not in the Veer way, I'm just getting creeped out. I jerk away, but find no one beside me. Instead, halfway down the staircase, I spot a girl peering up at me. She's barefoot, draped in several layers of worn, moth-eaten clothing. Peculiar metal jewelry hangs across her face and jingles with each slight movement. Her eyes are her most striking feature. They shine a scorching, unnatural crimson. It feels like staring into the sun, and yet I'm strangely captivated by her. She tilts her head, the tingling of metal riding the wind. Do you need help? I don't. I'm unsure how to respond. The air is changing with a mysterious energy as if each of my words is worth its weight in gold. But after the experience I've just had, I'm not even keen on trusting strangers. I'm not too keen on trusting strangers. No, I don't. The giggle she makes is a chiming, fluttering sound. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. She dips into a polite curtsy. My name is Iris. I was like you once, helpless and alone. The ones in the tower won't help with your pain. I might be able to, though. I try not to dwell on the fact that I'm recognizably desperate. Instead, I focus on her vague offer as I descend the stairs. You don't know what I'm looking for. You need what everyone needs in this world. A miracle. Iris turns and my thoughts abruptly scatter. The sea spring can cure anything. It can cure you too. Her shining eyes flick on my bandaged hands, then up again, so quick I nearly miss it. I stand there, wordless. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. She extends a hand out to me, her delicate fingers outstretched. I can take you there if you'd like. You can decide on your own when you see it. Her hand is frail, marred with tiny wounds. It's the epitome of vulnerability, the complete opposite of the cenobium's mocking, impenetrable gaze. And if I say no? It's your choice. The truth is, I don't have much of a choice. Not right now, at least. I wonder if Iris knows about something. Knows that somehow. If there's any hope for finding a cure, I need to follow every lead, include seeing this sea spring for myself. Oh no. I cautiously slide my hand into hers. Her skin is ice cold through my bandages. Her iris leads me further still until I'm met with an all too familiar sight. Oh no. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The sea spring is straight ahead. Iridia's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, but venture beyond city walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. I shake my head and pull away from Iris. I'm not leaving the city. She circles in front of me with a placated gesture. Don't be scared. I promise you it's all right. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it, and it's stretched before you is the safest of all. She casts a wistful gaze out over the wastes, as if admiring something beyond the vista. I am not going. This region belongs to Aius. Some call him a gang leader, but he's much more than that. It's difficult to string my thoughts together. Only a fool would leave the city, but a primal instinct tells me that Iris isn't lying. She twirls around with another curtsy, jewelry twinkling playfully in the sunlight. Her doe eyes soften with a smile. As I said, it's your choice. Thank you for coming this far. I hope we meet again, Ali. Wait, I didn't tell you my name. I blink and she's gone. Confusion grips me as I look around, searching for any trace of her. I didn't give her my name, but I'm completely alone with only the vast nothingness of the waste for company. Did I just imagine everything? No, that whole encounter was real. Again, that primal instinct insists on it, just like it insists on Iris's honesty. Something's wrong, though. Something wrong. The sea spring is straight ahead. If it managed to cure Iris, I need to see what it can do for me. No, I don't. I venture forth, nerves and determination rolling together in my chest. Something pierces the horizon ahead of me, a building nestled into a tall cliffside. It appears so starkly out of place that it might as well be a hallucination. Dripping with exaggerants and adorned with honeyed mahogany, it's an ornate jewel of architecture. Dark silhouettes skirt it on both sides. trees I think until it's close enough to realize that what I mistake for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless. Several of them watch me in the distance like statues. Flashes of last night chases me. The gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can't go through that again. I won't. See, this is why I said no. She should have gave up on that. She should have gave up on all of that. Exploding into a messy spring, I push my legs as fast as they'll take me towards the decorated building. The next thing I know, I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. My lungs burn from exertion. I gasp for breath, desperate to be safe, but when I orient myself with my surroundings, it's mere hellscape than sanctuary. It's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with a lurid, unhealthy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth, but the rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself that it's not as gruesome as it appears. This has to be the sea spring, the place that grants miracles. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. He said that for the billionth time. I don't trust it. Not at all. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for the bottommost. I reach for a note at the lower end. It reads, "They watch me through the mirrors. They won't stop staring. They know what I did. But they won't have me. I'm safe now. 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 I'm safe." Anyway. That's code. I don't know the code. Okay. The writing deteriorates into unintelligible scrawl. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching me. Ooh, no. No. I quickly set the note back, my eyes darting around the wooden deck, but it's still empty. Finally, I look towards the sea spring. That stillness hides something deeper, something wrong. Uh-oh. And familiar. Hey. Why? I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. Oh no. They chatter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly, all the different sizes and species, but sharing one identical trait: glowing crimson eyes. Just like the girl. Didn't the girl... Oh. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered. Watch your step. It's deeper than it looks. That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. Oh. I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. Oh. You look lost, little sparrow. Maybe I've been found. His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. So that would make him a soulless, right? I can't focus. The soulless growls ring in my ear, and they're not advancing. They're not advancing, but they can charge at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey. What? Eyes on me. I don't... There's other things going on, my guy. My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless. Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite. For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this motherfucker? Fuck you. I look right in his unnerving eyes and hold his gaze defiantly. Fuck you, is that better? A crooked grin cracks across his face. We'll work on it. I love how they made his name bastard. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking and are posturing more than anything else. It's as if they're waiting for commands. Did you tame them? Power of the sea spring. They're hungry, so they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them. How about I didn't do anything wrong? Trespassing. And that's punishable by death? He gives a nonchalant shrug. Expecting mercy was your first mistake. Touché. Tell me what you want. I'm not in the mood for guessing games. Your hands. Why do people not leave my curse alone? Alarm jolts through me. I hide my hands under my cloak. Show me. Why? Won't ask twice. With a sharp exhale, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. Are you getting off on this? Unwrap them. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his souls are on one command away from ripping me to shreds. I feel like that scene in Trolls where Poppy's like yelling at Branch, where it's like, it's a high five, the other path leads to certain death, get perspective. I feel like Branch in that moment. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well, the hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages. Stop. You hold... With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, tall and imposing, with a presence that commands the room like gravity. The lantern light sculpts his face in sharp, unforgiving lines. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. Yeah, please stay away from me. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? I step backwards and probably fall into the sea spring. And find nothing to set my foot on. I'd forgotten my back was to the sea spring. Yeah. How do I call it? I fall right before a warm arm catches my lower back. What is this, K-drama? This is a K-drama, right? And then there's gonna be light, and we're gonna be like posed like that for like 30 minutes, and there's gonna be lights everywhere sparkling, and it's gonna be so weirdly romantic or something. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I'm hovering above the sea spring, the scent of smoke and leather exfoliating me. Blazing eyes bore into mine. Told you to watch your step. I don't recall you saying that, sir. The fuck are you? I'm too stunned to muster a response. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the souls around me disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. As focused on me as he was before, the monsters pay no attention to me now. He kicks some sitting pillows out of the walkways, checks the contents of the kettle with a scowl. The sudden disregard is almost insulting. So that's it. I'm not a threat anymore? Never were one. Liar. Then why'd you threaten me? People get honest when they're afraid. In other words, he was messing with me. I dragged a hand over my face, exhausted by the fact that this was the second time a monster has provoked me today. You're Ayas, aren't you? Depends on who's asking. One of your friends told me this was your territory. She also said you were a gang leader. But there's no one else here. I thought there'd be more people. Ace picks up the kettle, walks to the edge of the sea spring, and dumps the contents into the endless red. They took a walk. Yeah, yeah. You can't say something that stupid with that face. His pleasant smile stretches ear to ear. Then in an instant it drops. I get the sense that I shouldn't ask about that again. What do you need the sea spring's power for? Depends. Can it cure a curse? Probably. You mean you don't know? Nope. Okay, he shakes out the empty kettle and starts collecting stray cups, tidying up. My frustration builds at him in a questioning. My frustration builds. I narrow my eyes at him in a questioning glare. When he notices, he returns it with an amused smirk. Are you being irritating on purpose? Listen, Sparrow. The sea spring can cure anything. Nothing's stopping you from trying it yourself. What do I have? What do I have to do? Drink. I have to drink from the sea spring? My eyes glide to the blood-like pool beside us. The idea of ingesting the liquid makes my guts churn. Is there a price? Always. Ayas taps his temple with a finger. You lose it a little bit. That's it? Might have already beat it to the punch. My humor earns me an amused fanged grin. This is a little different. When you drink from the sea spring, you forget who you are. Your mind combines with everyone who ever drank before. Humans, monsters, soulless. One big happy family in the head. My blood runs cold. I've heard of these before. Group minds. My attendants used to tell me that my power grants people access to a higher plane of understanding, a group mind of my own making. All lies. But something tells me this is real, even if one thing doesn't add up. Your eyes are red too, but you obviously haven't forgotten who you are. Before I finish my sentence, Aya strides past me towards the entrance. Time's up. Let's finish this later. Wait, already? You barely told me anything. Come on, came on a bad day. I've got somewhere to be. There are still so many questions burning on the tip of my tongue, but my frustration spills out before I can ask any of them. I was told to come here for help, but instead I get threatened and kicked out. You're joking, right? Watch your tone. I'm nice, but you don't have to ruin the host's mood. My skin prickles. The feeling of being watched washes over me again. My eyes dart back over to the sea spring. A lone ripple dances on the quiet surface. I take Ayas's advice and clam up my mouth shut. Ayas approaches a nearby soulless, a lanky dog-like one with 6 legs and a crown of tentacles. Several sets of red eyes adorn its sides. Its forked tail wags rapidly when Ayas squats beside it. He runs into its fingers through the tentacles, scratching its chin and pats its head. It's getting dark out, so this pretty girl will guide you back. Following a short whistle from Ayas's lips, it trots over to the entrance obediently, tail swaying. I watch the soulless warily. Pretty is not a word I would use to describe it, and the idea of it protecting me sounds absurd. If I decide to drink, how do I find you? Find someone with eyes like mine. They'll point you in the right direction. But think it over. Once you drink, you can't go back. It's a lot to process, but I give a small nod. At least I know I have another option for a cure, as disturbing as it may be. I follow the soulless at a measured distance and watch it nudge the giant doors open with ease. Outside, more crimson-eyed soulless scuttle about. It's hard to believe it's the same threatening pack from before. They chase each other in circles, roll around in the bog's mud. They pay no attention to me as the dog-like one escorts me away. It's an uneventful trip. Sometimes the soulless looks over its shoulder at me to make sure I'm still following. Oh no. Last time it was at this, I may have almost died. Or died and then brought back, because at this point I think that's what happens. Dusk darkened the sky by the time we reached the city. I can't sense that massive heartbeat anymore. Maybe it was all in my head. The soulless sits, canting its head at me with familiar crimson eyes. I would try to pet it, just a little pat on the head. As nervous as I am, I carefully guide my fingers through the soulless's tentacles and scratch beneath its chin, just like Ayas had. It pushes into my palm in response, rumbling in a soft akin to a purr. The vibrations are soothing, almost therapeutic. It's a cat. Oh no, my headphones are gonna die. When it's satisfied, the soul spins around and scampers back to the direction we came, vanishing into the darkness. I've just arrived in Iridia, but I've already encountered so many things I thought were impossible, tamed Solus being one of them. My head spins. Maybe I should call it a day. I actually am going to call it a day. I don't know if there's any more for this, but I really, really like it. It's super interesting. It feels like a D&D set. But unfortunately, I ran out of time for today. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I'm going to go back to the title. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I always forget to mention that. And I hope that you had a good morning, evening, or night. Enjoy your night.